Springy, ultra soft and responsive, stilt-like midsoles and feather-like upper materials are a combination of things that make a super expensive running shoe, most commonly known as super shoes. World records on the track in the 5,000 and 10,000 meters, road world records in the 5K, 10K, half marathon and marathon have all been beaten since the introduction of super shoes in 2017. All of these records have been broken in the men's and women's races. The only one coming from a non-super shoe is Eliud Kipchoge's 10K world record on the roads of 26:24. Now we know super shoes help, but how much do they actually help the world-class runners, and are they more of a red herring to something different? Compared to the super soft stack height bounce across the roads that we see today, people often talk about energy return as the key benefit of super shoes, but in the elite, especially the East Africans, their running form is so efficient already, and studies have shown that the energy return is minimal at best. A study out in Kenya in March this year highlighted how super shoes have a varied effect on elite athletes as well as amateur athletes. African runners in some cases have shown a decrease in efficiency from super shoes, with one super responder to super shoes being the only reason for any improvements at all as an average, since the vast majority of the world's fastest half marathon and marathon times have been ran by East Africans, and they show no improvements in efficiency. The improvements in road times surely must be down to the impact reduction of the shoe and changes in athletes' training, not improvements in efficiency. However, the less efficient you are, it seems the more of a positive effect super shoes will have, as shown in amateur European runners from the same studies. 5K and 10K world records have been broken all using wave-like technology and super spikes, but on the men's side, it's hard to find a correlation between super spikes and an improvement in track times at a world-class level. This is the opposite on the women's world-class level, as well as in the NCAA in both the men's and the women's. This can be due to multiple factors. At a world-class level for the women, and both men and women in the NCAA, they could have experienced an improvement in training and competition, which we believe to be true, and the adoption of more aerobic threshold training has since been a theme. Another factor, which seems just as likely, the NCAA runners aren't world-class runners just yet, and most of them are American. Therefore, it's fair to suggest that their running form isn't as efficient as world-class runners, and super spikes can have more of a positive impact. At a women's world-class level, more competitive races is 100% a factor to consider here. Every distance field is stacked right now in quality, and the saying of a rising tide lifts all boats applies here. So what do we know? Road times have improved across the board, and the effectiveness of road super shoes is evident in increasing efficiency and saving the legs from greater impact. In world-class runners, the efficiency aspect may have little to no or even negative effect, but the impact reduction is what causes still an improvement in times. On the track, it's a little less clear. Sub-elite and at a women's world-class level, data suggests times of improvement pretty clearly since super spikes were introduced. On the men's side, there doesn't seem to be a correlation. A combination of improved training, higher training volume, racing more often due to super shoe recovery benefits, and increasing competition quality are all probable likely causes of any improvement in times. It's certainly not solely down to the super shoes, and in some cases, may not be a reason at all. Overall, super shoes help, but that doesn't mean that running is any easier. It just means that it may be getting faster, which is something that we've seen throughout the history. The effort and the struggling faces remains the same.